What's the, I'm trying to think of the term. It's too important to fail.
It's too important to fail.
You know how they're trying to pass the budget?
The reconciliation.
Doesn't that remind you of that?
Yeah, basically they're telling you, you have to do this, because this is from Obama. He's telling the world in this statement that you have to do what I want you to do. It's important not to be done. And then they just ignore him. So he's finding out that, okay, I've been around, like I said, I started into my, how old am I? In 1 year, actually, 1 year. I started into my 8th decade, folks. So you want to know how old I am? I start my 8th decade in another year. But I've seen the Europeans at work since World War II. And I know they are the most arrogant SOBs on the face of this nation. Like I was watching Turner Broadcasting last night. And they were doing because James Garner is no longer healthy, and they're basically doing a tribute to James Garner with his 80th birthday coming up, and Clint Eastwood, who's also that age, was still working, but he was talking about how the movie that he liked James Garner in most was the Americanization of Emily, and they said it did one speech, that about about basically he was up until this time, we have not created a Hitler or a Mussolini. Yeah, and we did not start this war. We're here to save your asses in this war. And he's going on and on about the statement that James Garner was telling to Mary Poppins.
What?
Well, Julie Andrews, okay, who is Emily, and he said that when he got done with that statement, all of the Americans in the theater in Spain got up and cheered James Garner's statement. That's the Europeans. That is their attitude. I mean, they don't give a rat's rear. I mean, you eat their food, okay. If you don't eat our food, okay.
Okay, fine. You don't insult them. It's just kind of.
You want to come and be a tourist, okay. You don't want to be a tourist, we could care less. We're not going to, we expect you to kiss our butt or we don't serve you. I mean, the service in Europe is the work, there's two different types of service. I mean, there's the service that Notaspringchick can get because she's an American, and there's the service that I get because, I have a German last name, and I can sprechen Sie Deutsch, and como l'Italiano, and parlez-vous français. I can do it about 6 different languages, so I can get away, and I can speak with a bloody accent. I can simply go into my grandmother's Irish, and I do have an Irish name also.
You have an Irish name?
Oh, I've got one from Ireland. My family's name is, Irish also. But see, I can get away with that. So I don't have to put up. That's what the only thing my mother used to love was the fact that she was. She's also, my family's from England over there too. She could get away with murder. She'd just be an arrogant, not the American arrogance. She would sit there and do the British staring you down. And then they would surface better. But we don't do that to the English. I mean, when you're buying your fish and chips, they don't bring it to you cold if you're English. Americans basically, they wait until they stick something aside and it's frozen, and then you get that. And the American, oh look, genuine fish and chips. And my mother would put her hands on her hips and sit there and look, and she'd just sit there and stare at them. And then they would go bring the warm stuff out because they thought, oh my God, she's one of us. That's it. But no, they don't care about the United States for anything other than the fact that we provide them money. And if we aren't prosperous, they don't sell anything.
Yep.
That's the whole bit. We're only, because the United States does not manufacture. I mean, like Mr. Obama's plan is to turn us into, I love this, an industrial production giant. The reason why we don't do that is because they can make the stuff in China and India and Bangladesh cheaper than we can.
A lot cheaper, because they don't have the union problems.
They're not going to buy products that we turn out, and we can't afford anything that we make. I mean, we turn out, what Americans turn out is some of the highest quality stuff in the world. We don't sell it to us because we can't afford to buy it. You know, so the Global Plan for Recovery, like I said, you should simply go on the internet.
Actually, we can put a link for
We'll
this.
simply
We'll
put a link
this.
to it, all right, and so that you can read it, and it is an Obama campaign speech. A lot of it has to do with what he told people in the State of the Union. I mean, this could be a State of the Union address also. I know, so isn't that funny? I know. No wonder you were interested, because you'd heard it and you'd seen parts of it. All of a sudden, it starts to make sense. So, you know, we're going to bring you more. You know, this is probably more Chairman O than Barack Obama. So, but until the next time, this is Oldecam.
And this is not a spring chick. We're here yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
And we actually may put this thing up. You know,
I think we should put. We'll put
it up on www.montybubbles.net.
A link on the front page, because that is.
Yeah, and then let people on Twitter realize the Global Plan for Recovery and Reform is Obama. You know, campaign and it's a combination of campaign, State of the Union message, and the foreword for his budget.
So follow us on Twitter. It's a
And Mippin.
But actually, this we're still working out that Twitter thing.
Yeah.
Actually, this will probably go for Monty Bubbles, because it is hard news stuff.
I know.
And what we're putting on.
Yeah, we'll put the funny parts up.